Wow, that was a shock. He's certainly the generous type, on par with Mayor Mabel. Indeed, particularly in light of his being a former noble. What do you intend to do in regards to the mayor's offer, matron? Well, what do you think of the situation? Conventional wisdom dictates that you should accept it. However, once you've gone to Grancel... Oh, never mind me. You always were such a thoughtful child. It's all right. I want you to give me your honest opinion. The herb garden and the people I care about would be gone. So, and with you and Joseph gone, I feel like all of my good memories will fade away. I'm sorry, I'm just being stupid and selfish. I share your feelings. The orphanage is home to my memories of him, as well as the children's memories. But, though memories are precious, having a place to live is of the utmost importance. Yes, ma'am. I believe this will all be settled soon. Please try to focus on tending to the campus festival for now. The children are really looking forward to it. Yes, ma'am. Estelle and Joshua, I wish I could be of more help, but I must leave the investigation in your hands. We will handle it, ma'am. We're going to take the culprit down. You can count on it. This sure has turned into a royal mess. Where should we start the search? Maybe we should go to the guild and report back to Jean. We can figure out a plan of attack then. Sounds good to me. Something wrong? You look like something's bugging you. Oh, I'm sorry. My mind is just all over the place right now. I know how you feel. Oh, by the way, Joseph was Matron Teresa's husband, right? Yes. He died several years ago, but he meant a great deal to me as well. I see. Oh, wait. Does that mean you're from the orphanage too? In the least surprising result ever. I'm not a big mint guy either. I don't really care for mint. My wife loves mint. She loves chocolate, loves mint chocolate chip ice cream. I'm like, eh. Not really my thing. No, nothing like that. He just did a huge favor for me a long time ago. We grew close again when I came to Rouen to attend the academy. Oh, I see. So in other words, every time you came by to play, you ended up helping out, like part of the family. Yes. He was like a father to me, but the shock I experienced was nothing compared to that of the matron and the other children. But we managed somehow. Miss Chloe! Mary, what's gotten you into such a hurry? Listen, Clem's gone. Oh, God, Clem. Of course Clem's gone. He's always gone. Not sure what to make of that. It's a bear apple? An apple bear? Bear apple bear? Something? Apple bear? Huh? You don't mean he's left Minoria? Can you give us some more details? Okay. After that old man showed up, Clem went upstairs. In a couple of minutes, he came back down all red in the face, saying, "They're not getting away with this." And he just ran off. I wonder who he meant. You don't suppose it's... Yes, I believe it was the Ravens. He probably overheard what the steward said. Oh no! I hope he's not planning to go and find them himself. It can't be. I can't allow this. I have to find him at once. We'll come with you. If we hurry, we might be able to catch him before he gets to Rouen. Miss Chloe, don't you worry. I'll bring him back safely. You just look after the other children, all right? Okay, good luck. Let's head back to Rouen. All right. Goddamn, Clem. I don't know about that bear. You just leave it there? Okay. Do not know about the bear. Not sure about the bear. Alright, we gotta go get Clem. I think Clem went outside in a big hurry. I wonder if he did something bad and got Matron Teresa mad at him again. Oh, maybe not. I am looking for the bastard Clem. He is so obnoxious that he's going to get trouble in. Ruan. Alright. What bear? Mint green tea is amazing if you have a sore throat, yeah. Oh, is that some, like... Okay. I don't even want to know. No sign of him on the way. You don't suppose he's already there? Come on, we'll check out that warehouse to the south. We'll do that, but first we're going to check the Orbment factory. See if we can get more Orbments. That's the first thing we're going to do. Man, a green Sepith, man. I need me some green Sepith. I need some green Sepith. Alright. What's up, Demiser? Demiser, man. You missed the fun, dude. Well, hopefully you're not missing this fun, but you missed other fun. Whoa. Damn, it's almost noon already? Damn it, Clem. Oh, he got over the bridge. Crap. Come on, you gotta jump it. No, Clem, please wait. It's no use. I guess he can't hear you. Crap, why does the bridge have to go up now of all times? It couldn't wait 30 minutes? Oh no, if we don't do something. What do we do? What can we do? Please, Chloe, try to calm down. It's alright, Demiser. You haven't forgotten what you told us about the bridge already, right? Huh? Now, how did people get across before the bridge was built? Oh, a boat! That's right. If I remember correctly, there's a boat you can rent behind the hotel. Alright, we'll use that then. Sure seem to be in a big hurry for whatever reason. Did you need something? Pardon us, Mr. Manager. You rent out a boat, is that correct? That wasn't what you missed. Yes, just go down these stairs and take a right to get to where it is. Downstairs to the right. Thanks. Eh? What do you want? Can we rent your boat? We need to get across as quickly as possible. Okay, my lucrative belly dancing career. Nice, Burner. That's awesome, dude. Well, Demiser, you missed a few things. Actually, as soon as I finish this, this little sub-quest here, I'm going to take a break, and I'll make the announcement before and after the break as well, so... I'm afraid not. That Duke fellow's already reserved it. Maybe come back later? Oh, no. Please, won't you help us? There's a little boy in grave danger. And now don't go shedding tears like that. You remind me of my granddaughter, and I don't like to see her upset either. Well, all right, I suppose it can't hurt. Go ahead and hop aboard. Thank you, sir. You're a lifesaver, mister. I'll just tell that Duke fellow that the boat's being repaired. You know how to handle a boat, boy? Yes, sir, I'll manage. Come on, both of you. True, true. Thought I was going to get to actually control the boat. This is the southernmost part of the warehouse district. Oh, yeah! It's Sieg! Scree! Scree, scree! Okay, I understand. Looks like he's gone as far in as you can go. Love that Gyrfalcon. Let's get a move on then. That's probably where we'll find the hideout. Roger that! Okay. Ron, warehouse. Don't try to play dumb. I know it was you guys that did it. I'm not gonna let you get away with it. What's this little punk talking about? Oh, no, sorry, it's English. What's this little punk talking about? Hey, there's no place for little kids. You ought to go home and get back to sucking on your mama's tit. Ha ha ha! Nice one, man. Grr. Wah! What the? What's the brat so pissed off about? I don't have a mom, you jerks. I have the matron. You don't get to make fun of her. Ugh. You got a lot of attitude, punk. Maybe you need some discipline. How about 100 whacks on the ass? Stop this. It's you. Miss Chloe? How can you be so cruel to a child like this? It's disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Oh, hell no. Hey, Missy. Who are you to look down on us just because of your looks, rich snob? How many braces you think it'll take to beat us? Stand aside, Chloe. We'll buy you some time. Get the kid as far away from here as you can. No. Let me fight, please. Huh? I really don't enjoy it, but I was taught how to use a sword if it's to protect others. Oh, snap! I think now is the right time. What? A self-defense rapier? Let the child go, please. Otherwise, I will force you to do so. Oh, wow. That's so odd. Get your minds out of the gutter and focus. Expect us to let this brat get away with mouthing off to us? We're the Ravens. You need to learn not to mess with us. You're right. Yeah, come on. Quit being lazy. Sever. Wow. Holy crap. Look at this. Are you kidding me? What the? What is all this crap? Tyr, Tira, Tyrol, Latyr, Latira, Revive, Curia, Anticept, Blue Impact, Hellgate, what the hell? Licked Christ, what the? What? Damn, son. Wow, I don't even... Apparently not. Well, let me catch you slacking again. Should you be loafing around like that? Let's stop being party for long. Right? I mean, I plan to. Good night. That's right, you missed. Let's get a mega heal. Mega heal. Get up, you lazy bump. Oh, you can revive, huh? See that face of yours. Okay, I gotta get, so I gotta get the lead guys down. I gotta get those lead guys down. Could have been more impressive, actually. What? She can't do anything? She can do art. Okay. Clara. Good night. Thanks for playing, though. Flicker! Thanks, Shadow. I do not like the grinding, that is true. Doesn't matter. La Tira. Ah, come on now. Taking him down. Damn it. I want to save that. Well, actually, no, I don't. No, I don't want to save that, actually. Oh, yeah, it's a critical hit. God damn it. Stone Impact. Gotta take those guys down. Shoot a bird behind me with auto aim. I've got to take those big guys out. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. It's ridiculous. I took out one of your guys. Good night. There'll be enough of that garbage. Okay. And good night again. So much for your leaders. I want to see this. Oh man, what is this?
Now, light of the heavens, feel these battered wings. Radiant flash.
So it's just a badass heal? Not that I'm complaining. Really? What you got, huh, big fella? Have a seat. Holy cow, she is amazing. Level up. Yeah, she's level 17. Joshua learned taunt. I like that. Yes, I got 15 green sepith. Yes, I needed that. Well, you guys are some kind of monsters. Even if she is a Brycer, there's something weird about this chick. That was awesome, Miss Chloe. Phew, nice going, Chloe. You must have learned the art of the sword from someone very skilled. No, I'm still just a novice. Listen, lady, if that's novice, I'll take novice. Fighting any longer would serve no purpose. Please, release the boy. You bitch. We ain't just gonna let you make fools of us and get away with it. Enough. Well, who's there? Reinforcements? Has it been so long that you've forgotten my voice? Agate, you're here. What are you doing here? And you know these guys? Bryce. Yeah? What are you fools doing? Fighting with girls and beating up a little kid. Is that what it's come to? Well, you shut up. You left us. Who are you to give us orders anymore? Oh! Snap! Oh, snap! Did you guys see that? It's like 30 feet in the air against the brick wall. It's like... You were saying? Hey, Agate. Hey, take it easy. It's about the kid. We'll let him go, see? Miss Chloe! Thank goodness, you're alright now. You should have just done that from the start. What a bunch of mean jerks. Hey, how did you know exactly when to show up? I just talked to Jean, is all. He said the newbies were somewhere investigating the arson case. Get walled, son! So, hey kid. What? You got some guts to come up here all by your lonesome, but you're really pushing your luck. You shouldn't worry your mama like that. Clem? What? Matron? Why have you come here? I inquired at the guild as to what was going on, and I was led here. Clem, really? You know better. I'm not apologizing this time. I'm gonna get those jerks who started the fire and... Clem! Feel the fury of the gods! Matron Teresa, please don't scold him. That wasn't my intent. I understand how you feel, Clem. Believe me, I do. The house was important to everyone who lived there with you. To all of us. However, getting yourself killed will not bring it back. All that I want is for everyone to be safe. In the eyes of Aidios. In the house of stone and light. I want light to just shine down on her. Nothing and nothing else matters. So please, don't put yourself in danger. Matron, Wow! I'm such a sucker for this stuff. Clem, I'm really glad he's okay. Jeez, women and kids always the same. Hey, Brycer kid, you should get the matron and Brad out of here. This really is no place for them. I don't mind, but what will you do, Agate? I've made up my mind. I'm gonna remind these idiots who runs things and why. I might need to crack a few skulls. No! Please, take it easy on us. I see. I guess you'd prefer not being interrupted then. Bet you like the shadow. I love Billy Joel, actually. I've seen Billy Joel live 3 times. Once during his Stormfront tour. Once during the Elton John, like one of the Elton John Billy Joel concerts. And I saw him once a few years ago when he closed down, like he did the Madison Square Garden. He has the record for most sellouts ever at the Madison Square Garden. He's awesome. Guy puts on a great show. And nothing else matters. Off to Never Land. I don't know a whole lot of Metallica, sadly. Thank you so very much. I wish I had the words to express my gratitude. You really don't need to thank us. We're just doing our jobs. Still, are you sure you don't want us to escort you back to Minoria? Yes, it's fine. The Gull's Seaside Way is like my backyard, after all. More importantly, I don't want to get Chloe in trouble at the school. No need to worry. I will accept full responsibility, Matron. Thank you, Chloe, but it's fine, really. I want you to focus on preparing for the campus festival. All of the children are looking forward to it. Yes, ma'am. Phew! Made it just in time. I brought back the boat. Thanks! Sorry for making you do that on your own. Don't worry about it, it wasn't a tough job. I owe you my gratitude as well, Joshua, and the gratitude of Aidios. Miss Chloe, all you guys actually, thanks for helping me today. I was stupid, really stupid. Clem, yes you were. Really, really stupid. Really, really stupid. So stupid. So stupid. I thought maybe I could get back at them, and then you had to come to save me. You must think I'm a complete loser. Yes, we do, Clem. Yes, we do. We don't think that at all. We think you're a complete jackass. And then also a loser. You're not a loser. What? You risked life and limb to protect something that's important to you. That's no mean feat, even for grown-ups. Personally, I thought you were pretty awesome, except you were also a loser. Mr. Joshua! However, you need to leave fighting the criminals to us. Your job is to protect the matron and the other kids. No one else can do it. You have to stay with them, encourage and support them. You're the only one who can do it, Clem. Only I can do it? Okay, I think I get what you're saying. You think you're up to it? You betcha, you can count on me. Haha, thank you yet again. Take care, everyone, if you'll pardon us. Oh, Miss Chloe, I can't wait to see the play. Great, I've been working hard on it, so I hope everyone will be there. You can count on it. I'll see you later. Phew, I'm glad to see he's feeling better. Sometimes you know just the thing to say, don't you, Joshua? I couldn't believe my eyes seeing how quickly Clem cheered up. Thank you, Joshua, so much. No, I didn't say anything special. You've got to protect what's important to you, that's all. Shady, secret past. Anyway, I'm just glad that he's okay. Thanks for your help, Chloe. I should be thanking you. Oh, by the way, what came of your investigation? Well, that red-headed dude butted his spiky head in now, so I wonder if he's done yet. For now, let's get back to the guild. Are you coming with us, Chloe, please? Because you're an amazing warrior, please come. Yes, I'd like to find out what's really going on. Not to mention the identity of the arsonist. Well, let's go then. Okay, badass. Badass. Awesome sauce. Hello. Hi. Okay. Let's probably take a break and get some food. I guess I'll shut it down or tomorrow for sure. I fed her already, by the way. Let's see. Where are we? Alright. Orbment time. Yeah, there's no point in doing it for Chloe because... let's see. All court's okay, all court's okay. Let's do that one. Still need more green Sepith, but... Oh, look at that. Already open. I'll bet it is. Alright. Alright. Alright, what do we got? %, kills enemy, but quartz breaks. That's right, I remember that. Haze. Enemies become unaware of presence. Gives us Earthguard and Stonehammer as well. I like that. Let's try it. Alright. Now let's take a look at some weapons. I got most of this stuff. Oh. Well... Question is whether I spend the money to improve her. I guess I will, because after she leaves the party, I get it back and I can sell it, so... You better be grateful, is all I gotta say, freaking... Chloe. I want her to use the Gyrfalcon. I want to use... I want him to be an attack. That has to be a thing. You can use them as an attack. That's got to be a thing. Let's sell rapier. Wine steamed egg. Ooh, there's a couple of those. Absolutely. This game's a bit too interfacey, Firesnake. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, they did a tremendous job at it, though. Where do the stars shine in the blue sky? It's too far away to see. They did a tremendous job of it, honestly. I mean, this is basically entirely mouse-driven. The whole thing is mouse-driven, and they did a great job with it. Okay, what is it we're supposed to do now? Fun is now safe and sound. Oh, we're going back to the Bracer Guild. That's what we're doing. Bracer Guild time. Oh, and I forgot I was going to take a break. Take a break a while ago. Alright, so give me a second here. Let me deal with this. Welcome back and good work. I'm told that you were able to save a young boy. Yeah, somehow or another. I'm still kind of in shock from when that redhead showed up. You must mean Agate. He's working another case in Rouen. He used to be the leader of the Ravens, if you can believe it. I suspected as much. Guess that explains his terrible disposition. Well, that was a long time ago. He drifted into town right around when he was your age. He hung out with a rough crowd and got into some serious trouble. Compared to back then, the tough types nowadays are puppy dogs. And a guy like that was allowed to become a bracer? Well, I've gotten to know him a little bit, and it turns out that he wanted to become a bracer ever since he was little. Sometimes people just change. I think that's probably enough of the idle chatter. Oh, you're back! Didn't your mama ever tell you it ain't nice to talk about someone behind his back? Always with the gossip. But is it really gossip if it's positive? Anyway, are you done with your investigation? Yep, over and done with. I can't say for sure, but I think they're clean. Really? You're not just trying to protect your old buddies? You want to watch that mouth of yours? From what I saw last night at the Sailor's Tavern, they couldn't be the arsonists. Hell, I doubt they could have even walked a straight line if they wanted to. Well, if that's true, we can hold off on them. They didn't strike me as the types with the guts to try arson anyway. I guess not, just full of themselves mostly. All you need is to give them a nasty look, and believe me, they'll cave. Anyway, I'll see if I can find the arsonist while I'm out in the field. Huh? I'm taking over the case, and you're off it. Whoa, say what? You gotta be kidding me. Can you at least give us an explanation? Oh, don't get your panties in a wad. You two are too close to this case, you know it. And if you let your feelings run away with you, it screws with your judgment. Plus, you let a civvy get involved. Oh, pardon me, but you ain't gotta apologize. It's these two I'm worried about. The point is, you gotta be professional about it, and these two ain't. Just where do you get off calling us unprofessional? And no matter what you say, we made a promise to the mayor. Hey, Jean, what do the rules say about when junior and senior bracers want the same case? Oh, come on, you know as well as I do. Of course it rules in favor of the senior bracer. We're not bad in a fight. Perhaps you could provide backup? It's just an investigation. I don't need more people. I think we're done here. Try not to hold this against me. Exactly, Beljor. A corny cop show. They're like, alright, turn in your weapons. Like they drop the sword, the ordnance, right? There's that like iconic moment where they're dropping stuff at his desk. What? Just who the hell does he think he is? It's frustrating, sure, but he has a point. It just irritates me that we really don't have a counter-argument. I'm sorry, if I had not drawn my sword. That's not what's bothering me. He doesn't have to just blow us off like that. Please, he means no harm. Don't be upset. Tact is not his strong suit. He just doesn't know any other way to communicate. Particularly in light of the current situation. I think it may have something to do with an earlier case of his. He was pursuing someone and, well... Huh? Pursuing someone like a criminal? Ah, never mind about that. I really can't go into details. Just let him handle these criminals. Consider it a personal favor for me. I guess we have no choice. Exactly. You're too close to this case, Johnson. There are rules, and you gotta learn to play by them. I see. Well, we'll hand over our report from our investigation then. Please, go ahead. Payment for orphanage, 3,000 Mira, 5 BP. Current rank is Junior Bracer, 5th class. I got extra BP. Seems that you are quite thorough. But as I mentioned, the circumstances of this case are special. I'm terribly sorry, but you'll have to end your investigation here. But I just wanted to do something for the matron and the kids. This isn't right. Estelle. Mr. Jean? It's possible to enlist the help of the Bracer Guild for civilian events, isn't it? Yes, though it would depend on what kind of event you're talking about. Because of the number of people who attend, we'll be handling security at the Royal Academy Festival, for example. Well then, Estelle, Joshua, would you mind helping out with our play in the meantime? Huh? What do you mean? Every year when the festival ends, there's a play held in the auditorium. I know the children always look forward to it. Oh, I'm going to be in a play, people. And there are still 2 major roles that haven't been filled. You don't mean you want us to take the parts? Yes, otherwise we may have to cancel the play entirely. I can't bear to think of how disappointed the children would be. So I mentioned you two to the student council last night. They seemed quite eager to have you. It wouldn't be much, but you'd be reimbursed for the admin budget. Why do you want us? I don't think I'd be any good, and isn't the play a really big deal? Well, for the girl part, we need someone who's been trained for combat. I think you'd fit the role perfectly. You've never seen her in combat. I'd see. Well, I can definitely do combat stuff. Sounds like it would work. And what about the other part? Oh yes, well, we need someone with a shady past who's got dark hair and he's mysterious and everyone likes him. Oh, yes, well, talking about it is kind of what? There you go, Messiah. Embarrassing. And what does that mean exactly? What kind of play is this? Oh, come on, Joshua, you're not going to make us say it, are you? If we can do something for the kids, where's the harm? Plus, if we do some work, they'll probably let us have some of that awesome festival food. We can't let that opportunity slip by. Hey, hold on a second. John, is this really a legit Bracer assignment? It certainly is. Citizen outreach and regional services comprise plenty of the general work that Bracers do. I feel like to do all the things they say that Bracers do, you would need like 1,000 of them. It's just crazy. Oh, a series raid. What's up, series? What's going on, guys? And since Agate showed up, you do have some extra time. I certainly have no problem with it. All right. I have a bad feeling about this, but if it's for the kids, what choice do I have? Still, if we have anything else to do, we should take care of it beforehand. I doubt working on the play will leave us free time for anything else. That's a game being like, after this, you know. Nice, you heard about it. Awesome, man. I had a feeling you would like it. Welcome in, series. Hi, guys. Welcome from the series to the series raiders. If you guys are not already doing so, can I get an exclamation point so series runner? One of my mods or one of my regulars, can I get an exclamation point so series runner? Thanks for the host, bro. I appreciate it, man. Series runner, really good streamer. Even though right now he seems to be obsessed with Hearthstone and WoW. And Series and I are going to be playing on Friday. We're going to be playing some Divinity Original Sin. We're going to be continuing our co-op stream. So we are going to be continuing that. Thank you, Shadowed. Thank you, Apples. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, we got both of them. That's right. Hey, you're probably right. Oh, hey, you're probably right. Hey, Chloe, would it be okay with you if we looked around here some more? Sure, you don't need to worry about me. To get to the Royal Academy, you leave by the Gull Seaside Way, go east at the first fork, and then follow the woodland path. Okay, got it. Well, then let's go. You'll be commended for your assistance to the civilians and general contributions to the area. I can honestly say this is the first time someone's been sent to participate in a play. Well, I'll be waiting for your report. Alright, I want to see if there's anything else to pick up. Ah, there is. Maintenance delivery. Someone to carry a maintenance kit to the Varen Lighthouse for a routine inspection. Come see me at the Grand Orbital Factory. Secret of the old map. I'm searching for some pirate treasure hidden along the Gull Seaside Way. This is all short term, my god. Escort job. I'm looking for an escort for my uncle who's dead set on heading out onto the Crone Trail. Candelabrum theft. Sapphire Glim, a treasure of the House of Dalmor, was stolen from the mayor's residence. Please try to find the whereabouts of this candelabrum ASAP. For details regarding this incident, please see me at the mayor's residence. And make him leave. There's an annoying traveler causing problems for everyone around him at Air Letton. I'm looking for someone who can resolve this problem amicably. Please come ASAP directly to Air Letton at the east end of the Orient Causeway. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. I should be streaming tonight, Shadowed, until probably about 1, I would guess. So that's another like 2.5 hours, I think. But I'm actually going to be taking a break here in just a minute because I'm taking a break here in just a minute because I need to get some food. So let me see if I can do one of these missions quickly. Famous last words. Maintenance kit to the Varen Lighthouse. Alright, what else here? Pirate treasure along the Gull Seaside Way. Oh, that guy. Interesting. Alright, let's start with the maintenance kit to the Varen Lighthouse. Night, Sniper. Thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it very much, Sniper. Thank you so much. Shadow Old Mage. Okay, good. I was like, what? Mr. Tobias? We came here from the guild. Oh, this is about the maintenance kit, no? Your timing is exemplary. Will you be able to make the delivery post-haste? Yes. This brick of a thing is all yours now. Brick of a thing? Are you daft? I'm telling you it's heavy. Very, very heavy. Here, feel for yourself. Received maintenance kit. You okay with it? No bone fractures forming to your knowledge? It's filled to the brim with replacement parts and every tool you can imagine for replacing an orbit light of that size. It's no big deal at all. I'm stronger than I look, believe me. We just need to carry this to the lighthouse, right? Indeed, to Volk, the lighthouse keeper. He's expecting it. Its contents are quite valuable, so please be as careful as you can. I still can't believe it. Such responsibility, such strength, such grace. Ah, youth. What? Jean told me about you two, but seeing for myself just how peppy you are lifts my spirits to the sky. Peppy? No, we're just, professional? You're young, that's what you are. And naturally I was worried entrusting something so valuable to potentially reckless youths, but I worry no more. You may be young, but that doesn't automatically mean we're reckless. Oh, no, you've got it all wrong. I just meant that I wasn't sure how Old Man Vogt would take it. Oh, why do you say that? Is there something we should know about him? Well, you might say he's a bit of an eccentric. Yeah, no, such responsibility, much strength, wow. He can be a little abrasive when it comes to younger people. So in other words, he's a weirdo. That's one way to put it. Just try to understand where he's coming from. Being a lighthouse keeper is lonely work, so a little eccentricity is to be expected. The lighthouse is crucial for ships to be able to navigate safely, so the keeper's work is a very big responsibility. Gotcha. So really important work. Exactly, Belshore. I don't know if I can carry it. Let me just put it in with the other million things. When he was a fisherman, he used to down plenty of drinks at Levantar. Now that he lives at the lighthouse, though, he rarely gets a chance to have his favorite drink. It's pretty sad. I'd really like to go ahead with getting what he wants, but, well, I've probably said too much. Either way, don't let the old man's unpleasantness get to you, okay? Okay, got it. Is there anything else before we go? Nothing in particular. Once you're done, I'd like you to return here. Take care, and I'll see you later. Just to the south of Menorah Village, okay. Alright, so we're going to drop this thing off at the lighthouse. And we're going to take us a break. The good news is that I've got the awesome, I got this awesome person with me. Chloe, who's a badass. And of course I'm gonna have to leave behind because of reasons. Here's the lighthouse. Go drop that package. You guys doing? Everyone's doing better already. Sure glad I have lots of friends. I'm playing with everyone. Wonder what's gonna go with dinner tonight. Thanks for helping Clem. He could be a real pain sometimes. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. Oh, that's the windmill. I have to assume I go out and west or something? Ah, okay. Yep. Hey, what's up, Lemon? How you doing, Freshness? Whoops, darn it. Why exactly would you position me this way? Oh. Okay. What to do? I wouldn't feel right leaving the lighthouse unattended to get help, but on the other hand, I can't very well leave things as they are, either. My, who have we here? What brings you to the Varan Lighthouse? Are you by any chance the Lighthouse Keep Provoked? Oh, I certainly am. That emblem on your chest wouldn't happen to be... Oh, that? Yeah, we're bracers. Junior bracers, at any rate. Why didn't you say so earlier? Y'all should rush to the assistance of an octogenarian in need, not pretend like you didn't notice his forlorn expression. What? What are you talking about, old man? Why didn't you say anything to us? Because you didn't ask. Shouldn't the first words out of your mouth as bracers be something like, "Are you in need of any assistance, my elderly friend?" I tell you, young bracers these days are all fight, no care. Where's the love? Where's the compassion? Going pretty well, Lemon. It's been a fun stream, man. Y'all are worlds apart from that manly bracer I worked with before. Now that was a bracer you could set your clocks by, yes siree. I reckon that was 7 years ago, 8 perhaps? However long ago it was, he was better than you two. Well, I can't tell you how much I'm simply loving this abusive lecture of yours. You were saying something about needing assistance? He really is just as the factory owner said. I was? Oh, right. Yes, dire need indeed. You see, I was out cutting the grass earlier, and silly me, I forgot to shut the door when I left. And wouldn't you know it, by the time I got back, there were monsters all over the place. And with monsters skittering about, I daren't go back in there. I'm not that crazy. Oh, Messiah. So before we hand over the maintenance kit, you want us to do some good old-fashioned monster smashing? Is that the gist? I think that pretty much goes without saying, doesn't it? Maintenance kit? What in blazes are you talking about? That's why we're here. We've come in response to a request to deliver a maintenance kit to this lighthouse. But clearly there are bigger concerns at the moment. Indeed, it's just as you say. Can't exactly do any inspections if it's not safe in there. Do you have any idea how many of them there are? None in the slightest. All I know is it's not just one, so be on your guard and don't die. Don't you worry, bracers never say die. Live and let die. I do have to wonder, though, why monsters would wander into a lighthouse. Probably drawn to the septium. That light is produced by a particularly large orbment, as you might imagine. Spot on, whippersnapper. When this happened before, the monsters were all gathered together at the top. Oh, well, that makes sense. Well, if it makes sense, then get going, girl. Use that brutish body of yours and show those monsters what's what. You bet. Let's do it to it. It's almost inspection time, so please, take care of these things as quickly as you can, okay? And make sure you don't let your guard down, as these things are pretty nimble. Understood. I'm ready. Let's do this thing. Oh, kind of hoping to get a preemptive strike. Miss weird hammerhead thing. A savage pelagic monster that swims through the air has incredibly strong jaws, huh? Strong enough for this? Good night. Oh, yeah, it's a critical hit. Good night. Actually... should do it, I think. Ow. Oh, 200 total hit points? Okay. That's not as good. It's fine, though. Ow. Give me that break, give me that break. Whoops, with a miss. She's not as great offensively, but man, has she got some defensive chops. This is like the Temple of Doom, or whatever the hell that Bruce Lee movie is.
Let's move out.
Is it Temple of Death, or Appointment with Death? What the heck is the name of that movie? He fights Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at the end. Got kibbled salt. Yeah, preemptive attack. Can you reach him? Ah, darn it. She had a critical too. Shoot. I thought she could get there. Darn it. That's irritating. Give me that break, give me that break, give me that break, give me that break. That's right, you missed. And down you go. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it very much. So-called secret agenda. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. Good night. Good night. Thank you. Yeah, and I'll chat with you guys soon. Kind of hoping I might find something up there. Maybe not. Oh, nice. Thought I was going to find something on this level. You got a boss fight coming up here? Preemptive attack. Push him that far away. It's alright though, because she's got range to spare. That's right, you missed. Right, let's get some La Tira going on here. Stack that damage. Ow. Ow. Doesn't matter though, because La Tira. Exactly, Beljora. Keep that in mind, you guys. If you go out to mow the lawn, go out to do lawn chores, don't leave your door open because you may come back to find monsters. I'm just saying. Nothing like healing you when you're already at full. What? I wish you could attack, like you could position yourself for an attack. I don't think you can, though. Guess I should have found that out already. Ow. Nice.
Nicely done.
Yeah, getting more of that green Sepith. More of that green Sepith. Should be preemptive attack. Yes, good. Nice. She actually does. I take that back. She actually has decent offensive stats, but it's the defense where she really pulls her weight. Me, I hit you. Nice. Now she's got her break. love it. This will be good for a boss. Assuming there's a boss at the top of this lighthouse. Boom. Oh, wait. Nice. Then I get that heal, and then he finishes off. Alright. And you are going to finish off like this, kapow. I like how he's like,
That's that then. Let's move out.
monster fish meat, kibbled salt. Defeated all the monsters. That was it? Well, I'm just going to make sure there's nothing up here to loot. Danger, unauthorized personnel prohibited, whatever. Alright, so I gotta go down. Let's go down and talk to, what's his face, tell him that he did the job. Alright, I solved your problem. It'd be cool if like, oh, blew open the doors. Like, dry ice behind him. Can't climb ladder, exactly. Can fight monsters, can't climb ladder. How did the monster busting go? Stick a fork in it, old man, because this job is done. The monsters have all been taken care of. Everything should be back to normal in there now. Oh my, that's splendid news. At long last, I can hold the maintenance kit in my hands and use its contents to make this lighthouse, nay, this world, a better place. So what are we waiting for? If it's safe now, then let's get inside, shall we? Let's! Man, feels like I haven't been here in ages. I think we should get our work finished ahead of time, Estelle. Early bird catches the worm, right? Something like that, yeah. Salutations! I come on behalf of the Bracer Guild bearing a package for you. It's a little heavy though, so be careful lifting it. Hand it over maintenance kit. Yep, everything's here, alright. I appreciate you bringing this all the way over here. Oh, no worries, it's our job after all. The townsfolk were actually really worried about you too, so I'm just glad to see you're doing well. Work must be tough, so take care of yourself, okay? Don't overexert those old bones of yours. I'll do that. Thank you for your concern, blunt as it be. You starting to understand what it means to possess a caring soul? Nope, not really. I'm no good at those touchy-feely concepts, I guess. And here I thought you'd grown up a bit. Ah, well, I guess you still got a ways to go before you can match the level of that bracer. Actually, I'd like to hear more about him. What kind of bracer was he? If the stories I've heard are true, he was quite an amazing man. He was a great help to me 7 or 8 years ago, but sadly I can't even remember his name anymore. He was a hell of a man, though. No offense, but he made you guys look like crap by comparison. Though there is a bit of a resemblance, actually. Yeah, it's Cassius, obviously. He had reddish-brown hair, just like yours. In fact, even your eyes have the same basic hue. Reddish-brown hair and the same eye color as Estelle's? Could that bracer have been... I'm very much hoping you guys will rise to his level given the time. Though I suspect I may be wishing for things that are never to be. At any rate, thanks for all your hard work, kids. I best get to work. Time to start my rounds. Oh, yeah, well, you take care now, okay? Don't break your hip. Excuse us, please. So are you thinking what I'm thinking, Joshua? Yeah, I couldn't help but read into it myself. 7 or 8 years ago would be right on the money. The bracer to whom Vogt was comparing you? The, manly fellow? Is it someone you know? Yeah, you could say that. He found more cats for people than I can even count exactly. I'm pretty sure he was talking about our dad. Oh? If that is who he was talking about, though, then of course we're not going to measure up. Yeah, seriously. Well, I guess we are bracers like him now, so it's kind of flattering in a way to be compared to him at all. If we want to make names for ourselves like him, though, we really have to take it one step at a time. Catch up bit by bit, day by day. But even then, I think he's a little out of our league. Yeah, maybe. But I can only believe that one day we'll totally outclass him. I mean, we pretty much rule. That's a very Estelish thing to say. Thanks, I think. Anyway, we best get going. This is no time to be horsing around. If we're going to become world-class bracers, we got to get moving. You're absolutely right. Let's hit the road and see where it takes us. Lighthouse monsters completed. Maintenance delivery completed. So I'm going to have to report that, but before I do that, let's see. Gull Seaside Way. Okay, so on the way back, I'll be able to do that. Okay. Lovely. All right, folks. So I'm going to take a break. It is about 10 minutes to 11, 12 minutes to 11 actually. So I'm going to take about a 10-minute break, and I will be back at you guys at about 11 o'clock. And then we will stream for another couple of hours. We'll get all these side quests done, see if we can make some more progress, and maybe come close to wrapping up Chapter 2 of Legend of Heroes, Trails in the Sky. If you guys like what you see and hear, please make sure to follow the stream. Please make sure to spread the word about the stream. And again, thank you all so much. For those of you who missed it, 3 quick announcements. Number 1, I am going to be featuring Josh Sawyer, who's the developer for Pillars of Eternity, on my stream 2 weeks from Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll have him on to talk about Pillars of Eternity, and I'm going to be playing through a beta version of the game that he gave me just for that purpose, or that's been sent to me by Obsidian for that purpose, which is really awesome. Then in July, sometime in July, I'm going to have Ed Greenwood, the creator of the Forgotten Realms, a major D&D figure. He is going to be actually dungeon mastering an adventure for me and the Infinity and Beyond crew. I'm going to be playing in it this time, and it's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. It is an exclusive on my Twitch channel, so that's going to be either 3rd or 4th week of July in the run-up to Gen Con. That's going to be awesome, and I'm going to be promoting the hell out of that. And then last of all, I have just signed a 3-book deal with the Ed Greenwood group, starting with Grey Shade, September 2016, then the sequel, Renegade, in September 2017, and then the as-yet untitled book, September 2018, which will conclude the trilogy. It's called the Grey Assassin Trilogy. It is the 2nd book in the Pony Island Adventures, which is the new setting that Ed has created. It's not going to be called Pony Island Adventures, but that's the code name for now. There's going to be a full publication schedule out in a couple of months, but for right now, I know that for sure. The contract is signed and done, and so I made that announcement tonight, and I am super excited about it. So, if anyone heard all of that stuff, no, not 50 Shades of Grey. If anyone had not heard all that stuff before, you've heard it now. So thank you guys all so much, and I'll probably mention that one more time before I sign off the stream tonight. But right now, I'm going to go get a little bit of food and take a break. So hang tight, and I'll be with you guys in about 10 minutes. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Sorry that took longer than I expected. I had to bring some trash out and try to fight through the snow to do it, and then I had to eat some food and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but I'm going to link something in chat. Mike made a reference to this, and I saw this before I went on, and this is... I will fully admit that this kind of stuff irritates me, and I will show you what I mean. Let me find the link here. So there's an article in Salon, salon.com, which just came out by a woman named Laura Miller, who is a writer and who writes for Salon. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to read this part of it. And my friend Mike, Capoeirist Mike on the chat, created this thing which says hashtag totally not a fantasy, I believe is what it is. Or hashtag not a fantasy. Excuse me. So here's the link. And I'm just going to read this first part of it. Okay, this part of it. Let's see. To understand why Kazuo Ishiguro's ambitious new novel, The Buried Giant, doesn't quite work, it helps to understand what it's trying to do. Unlike his two best-known works, The Remains of the Day and Never Let Me Go, this book takes place not in a recognizably modern world, but in a quasi-historical Britain, a rugged, harsh landscape where villagers dig their primitive homes out of hillsides and regard a nighttime candle as a luxury. Set sometimes in the Dark Ages after the withdrawal of the Roman Empire from the island and before the rise of the Seven Kingdoms known as the Anglo-Saxon Heptarchy, The Buried Giant is historical in the way that history is preserved by people who cannot write, as legend, story, rumor, and myth. Despite what you might read elsewhere, however, this is not a fantasy novel. It has very little in substance in common with Game of Thrones or The Lord of the Rings. Yes, creatures like ogres and dragons stalk its landscapes, and some of the characters knew King Arthur personally. But fantasy is a contemporary genre that uses the form of the novel to deal with the material of pre-novelistic storytelling. The Buried Giant reverses that formula, using the structure of a medieval romance to explore the moral and psychological themes we're used to seeing addressed by the realistic novel. This may seem like an obscure and technical distinction, but it makes all the difference between savoring the riches of this peculiar book and being blindly flummoxed by what it lacks. Okay, let me sum up for you what exactly was just said. What she just said is that, and I quote, fantasy uses the form of the novel to deal with the material of pre-novelistic storytelling. In other words, before we learned to write things in long form, that's when we used fantasy novels. You guys follow? So before we learned to write long ways, we used to write long books. Before we wrote long books, we used to tell stories. And that's what fantasy is. Fantasy is telling stories, right? Here's the second thing that she said. The Buried Giant uses the structure of a medieval romance to explore the moral and psychological themes we're used to seeing addressed by the realistic novel. Because apparently, fantasy doesn't address moral and psychological themes. Apparently, modern fantasy doesn't deal with moral concerns or psychological concerns. That's not what fantasy is. Fantasy is Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones. And let's keep in mind, folks, Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones are just like each other, right? They're exactly like each other. These two books are totally in line. They're both written by white men. They both have dragons. Clearly, they're the same book. What kind of vapid crap is this? Let me give you an example of a fantasy. Let me give you an example of not a fantasy, okay? I just taught it last night. Let me show you guys what is not a fantasy, okay? Now I can see, and I apologize, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, but this ticks me off. You notice this? Take a look at this book. This is John Gardner's Grendel, a book that I just taught last night. John Gardner, who was an academic, he was an academic expert, in fact, an academic expert at the poem of Beowulf and at other poetry from Anglo-Saxon times, and also translated some of the Arthurian legends as well. John Gardner wrote this book, Grendel. For those of you who don't know, Grendel is a book written from the monster's perspective. And oh, by the way, Grendel is also a book which inspired people like Gregory Maguire, who ended up going on to write Wicked, to talk from the perspective of the person. Let me give you an example of what a not fantasy writes about, okay? It's good at first to be out in the night, naked to the cold mechanics of the stars. Space hurls outward, falcon swift, mounting like an irreversible injustice, a final disease. The cold night air is reality at last, indifferent to me as a stone face carved on a high cliff wall to show that the world is abandoned. So childhood, too, feels good at first, before one happens to notice the terrible sameness, age after age. I lie there resting in the steaming grass, the old lake hissing and gurgling behind me, whispering patterns of words my sanity resists. At last, heavy as an ice-capped mountain, I rise and work my way to the inner wall, beginning of Wolf Slopes, the edge of my realm. I stand in the high wind balanced, blackening the night with my stench, gazing down to cliffs that fall away to cliffs, and once aware, again I am aware of my potential. I could die. I cackle with rage. I suck in breath. I feel my anger coming back, building up like invisible fire, and at last, when my soul can no longer resist, I go up, as mechanical as anything else, fists clenched against my lack of will, my belly growling, mindless as wind, for blood. Now that is just a rollicking child's book, right? That doesn't deal with psychological themes. That doesn't deal with philosophy. A book which easily cites nihilism, existentialism, which questions humanism, which brings out different aspects of philosophy, psychology, and religion to support all of these things from an expert in the field. That's not really fantasy, right? Not fantasy. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a fantasy book. It's a fantasy novel. Gardner would have accepted it as a fantasy novel. And this deals with exactly the terms that this idiot thinks is contained mostly to mainstream novels. And when she was called out on it by people on Twitter, by people like sfreviews.net, she was like, well, you have this colossal chip on your shoulder. Really? We have a colossal chip on our shoulder? And she got huffier and huffier and huffier. She's like, well, you're just seeing things that aren't there. You're right, I'm seeing things that aren't there, like when you say that the fantasy novel deals with pre-novelistic storytelling, and this book is not a fantasy because it deals with psychological and moral themes, because apparently fantasy doesn't do that. What crap. What garbage. What absolute garbage. Hey, Missy, what's up? What crap. So she deserves all the criticism that she's going to get from this, and if you might want to go out and actually do more than see a commercial for Game of Thrones and think she understands fantasy, you could start there. I don't understand what it is with mainstream novelists that they feel like they have to do a job of running around and bashing genres because they feel so threatened by them. You know, fantasy doesn't go after you. You know, fantasy doesn't go after The Life of Pi. Fantasy didn't go after Remains of the Day, the other Ishiguro novel that she's talking about. Fantasy doesn't object to that. Fantasy doesn't go, you know what, I hate The English Patient. Fantasy writers are perfectly happy to keep writing fantasy. But when you come after fantasy writers and say, well, you guys are just writing sort of childish claptrap, suck it, okay? Because what we're actually doing is producing work that is pushing the envelope far more than most mainstream literary fiction has done for 2 decades. And if you look and take a look and see who's actually reading the books, because it ain't mainstream fiction, you want to know what the books are actually selling? Go look at books like Pat Rothfuss's work. Go look at The Name of the Wind. Go look at Wise Man's Fear. Hell, go look at Game of Thrones and tell me how many HBO series are getting made of mainstream literary fiction. Now, the argument could be, well, commercial doesn't mean critical, and that's true. Commercially successful doesn't mean that it's critically good. But it also doesn't mean that it's somehow bad because people actually read it. I mean, my God, man. No, but you know what? You know what it is, Dragon Spear? I mean, listen, I'm not going to like, you know, have trouble sleeping because of this person, but these people have to be called out when they do this, because this thing is destructive. It's destructive to my students that I see sit in my classrooms, because what I'm doing is explicitly against her project. When I'm talking about Beowulf and then talking about Grendel, how Grendel reaches across thousands of years of history to be able to draw upon Beowulf and uses moral and psychological themes of the day to support that. When I talk about that, when I talk about the allegory that's being done in Neil Gaiman's Graveyard Book, or Peter Beagle's Last Unicorn and how it's satirizing fairy tales and indeed the very notion of the fairy tale, when I talk about that stuff, I'm doing it because it does have literary value. Okay, this isn't just bubblegum pop. And by the way, it's okay to have a bubblegum read once in a while too. But this idea that mainstream literary fiction is automatically better because, and that a fantasy novel couldn't possibly be that, is just garbage. I just, ugh. Blah. Yeah, exactly. And Margaret Atwood does the same thing. Margaret Atwood wrote The Handmaid's Tale. If you guys have read Margaret Atwood's Oryx and Crake, Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale is science fiction. It's straight up science fiction. There's no question about it. It's science fiction and fantasy. But she's like, well, I don't really know. What are they so afraid of? You know? It'd be one thing if you're writing fantasy back in the 1940s and people think it's the kind of stuff that people read in comic books in the times when comic books were themselves not considered legitimate either. You know? But this is 2015, people. It's a big tent. There's plenty of room for people to read different things. And it's plenty of room to read it and get value from it. Of course fantasy has literary value. But to sit there and go, oh no, well, fantasy only deals with pre-novelistic storytelling, like the primitive stuff. And then to go on. I wonder what she thinks about Edmund Spenser's The Fairy Queen. What would she say about that? I'm curious. Because here's a newsflash. The Fairy Queen is fantasy. And you'd have a hard time claiming it doesn't have literary value. And I bet she would even claim that Beowulf is not... I bet she'd be like, oh, well, I wasn't referring to Beowulf. You weren't? Because that's fantasy. Amazing. Amazing. Absolutely. Epics of Gilgamesh is fantasy. The Iliad and the Odyssey. I mean, come on. Come on. I mean, what garbage. What garbage. And it's indicative of a mindset, which fortunately is disappearing, but it's indicative of a mindset of someone she was sloppy. She wrote a sloppy column. She was like, I'll get in a couple of shots on fantasy, which she obviously doesn't like. She knows nothing about it, because if she wouldn't even, what does that even mean to compare Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings? She's like, let me take these two big things that everybody's heard of. Lord of the Rings, because the Hobbit movie came out, and what is that? Oh yeah, Game of Thrones. And let me smash them together. The hell do they have to do with each other? Like, I mean, George Martin is influenced by Tolkien because everybody is, but why would those be your two comparisons? It's like, I'm going to talk about, the key thing is that when people buy cars, we know the way people should not buy cars. Cars are not useful items. And we know this because of all the things that cars do. I mean, if you take a Sherman tank and you take a Mini Cooper, both of those things don't help everyone. The hell is the comparison between a Sherman tank and a Mini Cooper? Because they both drive and have wheels? God almighty, man. Anyway. What crap. So anyway, yeah, so I want to find that. What is it? If you guys should go out and tweet this, actually. I want to give you guys a hashtag. Because this is going, my Twitter feed is blowing up with this stuff. And Mike did it, so let's see. It's got to be hashtag totally not fantasy. Where is it? Where is it? Where are you? Okay, this is it right here. Hashtag. Oh, hey, what's up, Solomorn? Thank you for the host, man. Totally not fantasy. You guys know about Scott Lynch, right? See if I can find him. Scott Lynch writes, Scott Lynch tweets, hashtag totally not fantasy. Why, no, this novel isn't fantasy. The text is working on more than one level, you see. Elizabeth Bear says, you're secretly writing economics text disguised as rollicking adventure fantasy capers. Oh, God. That's great. What else is there? Hashtag totally not fantasy. I love it. I love it. Let's see if we can get our friend Mike some love. Oh boy. People are funny, man. People are funny. Alright. Let's get back into it. What are we doing here? What the hell was I doing? Oh yes, I'm searching for some pirate treasure, and then I'm reporting that and the other thing to the guild. Gull Seaside Way, which I think is... Well, let's get out of here. There's an anime that's economic text disguised as fantasy adventure. Totally not BDSM, 50 Shades of Grey. Well, it's like, so you go in, you're like, you have to find things and, like, tell, like, here's another example. You guys know the book Life of Pi? Life of Pi, mainstream book, right? Mainstream literary book, which had a movie made of it. Life of Pi, completely fantasy. Completely. How about Love in the Time of Cholera? Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Guy won a Nobel Prize for Literature. You think that he's got some cred? Guess what he wrote? Fantasy. It was called magical realism, in fact. 100 Years of Solitude? Fantasy. Just the case. How about James Joyce's Ulysses? James Joyce's Ulysses, one of the great novels of the 20th century, written by a guy who also won a Nobel Prize for Literature. Guess what that is, in part? Fantasy. Clearly has sections of fantasy. There's no question about it. I'm just saying. How about Virginia Woolf's Orlando? Fantasy. Clearly examples of fantasy. How about Aldous Huxley's Brave New World? Science fiction. How about George Orwell's 1984? Science fiction. How about George Orwell's Animal Farm? Science fiction. I mean, the ignorance, it burns, you know? Fallen. But no, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, the point is, these arguments become silly because it's not just like, you can obviously find an element of fantasy in a book and not call it a fantasy. But when you have a book which is clearly fantasy, and clearly a book, I mean, listen to this part, okay? Listen to the description of this book. You guys tell me. Here's what she says about this book. Along the way, the pair sets out, blah, 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 blah. This part doesn't matter. They discover that this is describing the book that she says is not a fantasy, okay? They discover that the breath of an ancient she-dragon living up on a mountain has covered the landscape in an insidious mist that robs both Britons, the Celtic natives, and Saxons, Germanic newcomers, of their memories. Beatrice finds this unbearable. She and Axel know they love each other, but what does that really mean if they can't remember the life they've shared? Along the way, they meet a wandering Saxon warrior, a fierce boy afflicted with a mysterious animal bite, many superstitious villages, an abbey full of dodgy monks, and Gawain, the nephew of King Arthur. His uncle long dead, Gawain has become an aged knight roaming the countryside in a protracted search for the she-dragon. So, let me get this straight. They find knights, they find magic, and the whole thing is set against the backdrop of a she-dragon. But clearly, exactly, Solomon, but clearly that's historic fiction. She-dragon! Hello? The hell? What happened was she was reading the book, and she's like, I really like this book. And then she was like, oh crap, this is fantasy. I've got to come up with a really terrible analogy and come up with a terrible analysis to explain, like, what I'm reading is not actually fantasy. Dragons are real, damn it. I mean, just unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Oh, I gotta go back to him first. Damn it. I should have contacted him first. Shoot. Oh well. That is rich.
Yes, let the hape seep up your thighs and penetrate your body.
Hilarious. And I like how she's like, that's not what I said. It is what you said, actually. It's what you repeatedly said. You said it in about 5 different ways, with more inane arguments every time. And see, then she realizes that she must look like a moron, and so she decides to cover it up by being like, well, what I actually said was, you're not understanding me because I'm far too complicated and obscure for you. I'm sure that's the reason. I'm sure the reason that everyone misunderstands you in exactly the same way. It's like when people used to complain about Nietzsche, and they would say, and everyone would be like, oh, well, no, you're misunderstanding Nietzsche's message. I'm like, the problem with Nietzsche is that every time Nietzsche gets misunderstood, the result is Nazi Germany. Okay? Like, misunderstandings of Nietzsche all end up in the same place. So there might be a certain point where you want to go, you know what? The constant might be me. Is it me? Does this terrible philosophy make me look dumb? I mean... My novels aren't fantasy, they're unauthorized biographies from another world. What's up, K Misconduct? Oh, Thorg, I was talking about how there's this article on Salon. There's this book review of a book called, what is it called? I don't have it up anymore. It's a book by Tomoaki Ishiguro, who wrote Remains of the Day. It's a book, something about dragons. I don't remember what the name of it is. But she starts by saying this is completely not a fantasy novel. She says, and we know this because fantasy novels deal with pre-novelistic storytelling, which is a nice way of saying they tell stories before we grew up and wrote novels. And then she says fantasy, it talks about things from the point of view of a modern romance, dealing with psychological and moral themes, which these things deal with. In other words, fantasy doesn't deal with psychological and moral themes. If I wrote real fiction. Well, that's the thing too, right? Is that, of course, I do write real fiction. I write academic nonfiction. And so I am very used to what the actual sort of, non-creative allegedly work is supposed to be. But that's just not, that's not what we're talking about here. It's just, not only is her argument incoherent, it's just flat out inaccurate. It's not right. And that's proven by some of the statements she makes. Like, for example, that a book that involves the breath of a she-dragon is not fantasy. Or, for example, that Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones are the two examples of fantasy that she gives. Yeah, that's it, Dragon. Thanks. I do too. Listen, I write fantasy, so admittedly, obviously it's important to me. But it's not just that. It's also I object to stupid arguments. I object to arguments that are based on misapprehensions and stupidity. So it's that too. It's just a dumb argument. Huh? I saw you guys the other day. Nice to see you again. Oh, hi, you're the guy we met on the beach, right? You can call me Jimmy. You really saved my skin before, so let me thank you again. Yeah, it's fair, Thorg, but I guess part of what we're doing here is sort of challenging the assumptions, which is important. I know, the third sign is not autobiographical. I was like, listen, I'll give you, I gave the example of Grendel. This great, and I mean great book. It's a great book, but clearly not fantasy. But, it's a fantasy book, so clearly it doesn't matter, right? And so I mentioned all the other books that were fantasy and were considered great novels. Like Ulysses, significant aspect of fantasy. Or Finnegan's Wake, significant aspect of fantasy. Or Gabriel Garcia Marquez's 100 Years of Solitude. Or Love in the Time of Cholera. Clearly aspects of fantasy. Major aspects of fantasy. Margaret Atwood's Handmaid's Tale. Straight up fantasy and science fiction. Straight up. So it's just so many examples. Needs a New York accent. Yeah, she'd be fine with it, right? That's fair, Solomon. Yeah, she's arguing that she argues these two incredibly offensive and actually totally wrong arguments, which is number one, that fantasy deals with, quote, pre-novelistic thinking. I don't know what the hell that means. It's stupid wording. Pre-novelistic thinking. But clearly what she means is before we grew up and wrote novels. So it tells stories. So she thinks of it as folk tales and things like that, which is not what fantasy is. And then two, the argument would be that fantasy, you need modern literary fiction to deal with psychological themes and moral themes. Right, because clearly fantasy doesn't deal with that. Because the work of Joe Abercrombie does not deal with moral themes. Because we certainly don't get any moral themes in Orson Scott Card's Ender's Game. Because there's never any discussion of psychological themes that we see in the book that I mentioned called Grendel. Or, Terry Pratchett's Reaper Man. Or Neil Gaiman's The Graveyard Book. I don't even get her started. You guys think Alan Moore's Watchmen even shows up on her radar? She'd be, you know, what would that be described as? Well, you know, pre-textual thinking. Like, it's pretty pictures. What garbage. Hey, Gent, what's up, man? What's going on, dude? I understand, man. I will re-announce the announcement, although I'm sure chat will fill you in as well. So, have you checked out the bulletin board today? Well, yes, but why in Liberal did you pick here to meet of all places? Well, I kind of stand out here, don't I? I mean, it costs a lot to put up one of those requests. I figured people see me here and ask, hey, why are you in the chapel? And then I'll be like, so that you can help me find some awesome treasure. Exactly, Dragon Spear. Right, apparently not, game. Apparently not. It sucks. I'm sorry, Jen. Yeah, apparently not. It couldn't be, right, game? And Dragon, you're 100% right. Pre-novelistic thinking is what I would make up to add filler to a paper I'm writing and make it sound smart. Amen. It's the kind of wording that says nothing while sounding like it's saying something. It is nonsense. What the hell does pre-novelistic thinking mean? Well, then how about we get down to business? That request of yours certainly sounds intriguing. Glad you agree. Yep, I actually just acquired an ancient map a short while ago. And you wouldn't believe it if I told you. Wouldn't believe what now? It leads to the treasure of the great pirate Shermer. That book deal, that's right, gent. There you go. Pillars of Eternity. Pillars